People lose their valuables every day simply because they forget to lock their car doors. Don't be another statistic. Remove all your belongings anytime you leave your car, including valuables and weapons. This is a message from the Marana Police Department, reminding all residents to lock it or lose it.
Welcome to Real Talk with the Town, where I sit down with the Marana staff to answer your burning questions about our beautiful community. My name is Terry Rozema, and I'm the town manager for the town, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Real Talk with the Town. My name is Terry, and I'm your host, and today I'm joined once again by Jason Angell, our Development Services Director. Jason, say hello to all of our listeners.
Hey, hello again, everyone, and thanks again, Terry.
You are a regular on the show. I don't know how many shows we've done together, but always enjoy having you here. And today, so this kind of came up as a result of a news story on KOLD. People are talking about storage facilities. We got too many of them. Somebody says, yet another storage facility. They are starting to pop up worse than the weeds in my yard. A rather colorful statement. I wasn't super happy about the first storage building. I'm definitely not happy about the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth. And then another comment, wow, more storage facilities, ew. So that's what we're dealing with. Sounds like we have some residents that are not very happy about storage facilities in the town of Marana, and that's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, today I get to ask the icebreaker. Last time, Jason took control of the wheel and asked me an icebreaker, but today I'm going to ask him one. Jason, you've been in the development. I found this out last time. It's around 22 years in the development world. And so I'm kind of curious the story behind, everybody has an origin story, like how did you get into that, right? So what is your origins story relative to development services? How did you get into this world of development services?
I'll be brief on this.
All right.
I don't want to take the whole... So I originally went to school for criminal justice.
Man after my own heart.
Yeah. I born and raised in northern Wisconsin, a small community, and went to St. Cloud State for college. Great criminal justice program there. But I found that during my general electives, I had a professor, Dr. Morgan, and he was...
What did you call him?
We called him Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan. It totally makes sense. Hopefully not because he was drunk at class. Okay.
He's a great
Just
guy.
making sure.
And taught a lot of architecture classes as well as community development. And I just fell in love with it. And it was something that I always loved in high school, and I was always engaged in my hometown growing up. And I never thought of it as a career opportunity. So I switched my major, and from that point forward, I've enjoyed every minute of it because there's not many professions in which you can drive around a community afterwards and point at a project and immediately remember something about it. I helped to make that happen, or that one had some bumps, or if I could do it over or help influence it this way. But
for better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
There's a standing memorial of your work throughout our community.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. That is fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And let's kind of jump into this topic here, because I actually have some of these same questions. So, like, do you know how many storage facilities we have in total?
I did a quick count, and I'm not going to guarantee that I got all of them, but I want to say it's like 16 or 17 storage facilities within the community.
So what's prompting all of these things, man? Why so many of these popping up lately?
Well, a number of them were annexed in. So last episode, we talked about the Golden Triangle briefly. Yeah. So that Ina to Orange Grove area, there's a lot of storage facilities back in there and kind of the older industrial areas.
Yeah, and those are the ones that I have always kind of thought of as like the traditional storage.
Yep.
It's like the U-Haul with the roll-up doors and the, it's single story and
metal buildings.
Metal buildings and the whole bit. So you're saying we inherited a bunch of those.
Yes.
All right.
And then the recent activity has been all of those interior climate controlled type of facilities. The one that's up off of Tangerine, up by the Fries up there.
Yeah.
And then you've got the two that are off of Silver Bell, Cortero, or Coach Line, Silver Bell area there. And then there's other facilities, the Cortero one over on the
Cortero
east
and
side.
I-10 on the east side, yeah.
So those type of facilities are going up. And honestly, it's from the market professionals. They're the ones that are running all the data, and they're saying this is where the market demands are, and there's a need for additional facilities. We don't go through as a municipality and dictate what each market is. If that was the case, we'd probably have fewer gas stations.
Right.
It seems like some corners have 3 of them.
Fewer Starbucks and fewer fast food restaurants, perhaps.
Yeah, but I'm not going to disagree. There has been a recent rush of storage facilities, so I can see where the feedback comes in as, man, it appears as if that's the only thing we're doing these days.
Why would you want to work for the Town of Marana? Well, let's hear what our employees have to say.
I feel like working for the Town of Marana makes you feel like a person, not a number.
I really wanted to work for the community where I lived.
I have children that play in the parks.
Working for a public entity, it's kind of a sacred trust. I like that. It's an honor to serve.
The town's mission is to provide 5-star service for a thriving community.
To me, 5-star service comes from within. It's a drive to make your surroundings a better place.
Providing community service like the Founders Day Parade, the swim lessons, clean drinking water.
Of course, the benefits are great.
I get sent to seminars and conferences. And
Town of Marana compensates vacation.
We do have an amazing gym facility, alternate schedules as well. Our employees are also able to telework.
My supervisor in particular really cares about our work-life balance.
My colleagues are fun. It's just a fun place to work.
We have a culture of friendship.
The people in general that work here and apply here all want to make a difference in their everyday life for themselves and for the community.
Let's make an impact on our community. Visit maranaaz.gov/careers and apply now.
Are you splash savvy? In the event of a home drowning, you are the first responder. We'll walk you through the steps so you can prevent further complications until help arrives. Learn more from Marana Lifeguards, Marana Police, and Northwest Fire District at maranaaz.gov/splash savvy. We are first responders against drowning, and we are splash savvy.
Hi, I'm Frank, and I'm a Marana resident. It's time to reactivate your social and fitness lifestyle. The Marana Senior Program offers a variety of services and recreation opportunities for active adults ages 50 plus. Member benefits include access to exercise classes, a fitness center that's really equipped, parties, and much more. Get a 5-day free pass of activities to use within a 30-day span. Visit maranaaz.gov/Teen Senior for more information.
Yeah, so what can we do to control that, or can we?
It's really difficult for a municipality to control a particular use, but we'll stay on this one, just storage facilities. Yeah. They're permitted in a number of different zoning districts throughout our community. So as long as it's a permitted use, there's really very little say that we get in it. For the Coach Line Silver Bell area, that one through the overlay district that was there required a conditional use permit to go through. Both of those facilities were reviewed, feedback was provided, and ultimately a conditional use even has limitations as to how far a municipality can go. If we were to say...
And that's to protect who?
It's to protect the community, but also the adjacent residents for that. Many times for a CUP, what it is you want to review it for design criteria. You're abutting a residential use. Okay, let's make sure there's not significant lights that are glaring back at the residential property, or that traffic volumes by that particular use are not going to be so high that it's ultimately going to cause congestion or noise issues within that residential area.
So there is an evaluation that goes into it with regard to the impact to the neighboring properties.
Correct, yes.
But the bottom line is property owners have certain property rights, and if the zoning exists, they can build it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's really, if the zoning exists, then there's two different levels of uses. There's the permitted, outright permitted, which is then handled administratively, or a conditional use permit, which would then take it to a public process.
Okay.
But otherwise, we'll have a grocery list of uses that are allowed in that zoning district, and if it falls in there, it's
and
permitted.
it was interesting to me, although there were some people that spoke out about the one that went behind the Quick Trip at Coach Line in Silver Bell. When the folks came forward with regard to the one on the opposite corner, other people actually signed up and said, yeah, we're okay with it, the people in the neighborhood. So that's kind of how the process is supposed to work, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. We encourage all of our applicants, especially when it goes through a public hearing process, to reach out to the neighboring residents and hold a public informational meeting of their own.
Right. Now, with regard to the appearance of these buildings, what kind of say-so does the town have with regard to the appearance, the aesthetics of these buildings?
Well, we have our commercial design standards that are a requirement there. The Silver Bell Overlay District had even higher standards as far as commercial design that are there. And actually, the one that's on the east side of Silver Bell and Coach Line, the northeast corner there, they had to go through the HOA as far as reviews. That was part of their requirements there. So there is additional review criteria that are done there, but it's not a high bar. I will admit that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not a simple, easy bar to clear. There are higher levels of expectations for our commercial design requirements.
Now, I will say, people's mileage may vary on this thing, so this is just one person's opinion. But the last two, actually, there's three now. The last two that have been built, there are two that are operational, one that's in the middle of construction. It does seem to me that they went to great lengths from an aesthetic standpoint. The one at Cortero and I-10 to me looks more like almost like an office building, and the one at Coach Line and Silver Bell kind of resembles a little bit like a little hotel or something.
Yeah.
The one that's going in near the mall has a pretty cool design when it's all out. We don't know what it's going to look like completely, but based on the drawings. But it's not sexy, right? I mean, there's nothing sexy about self-storage.
Yeah.
People are jonesing for restaurants and entertainment and things of that nature. So, we've got 16 of them. Is that enough in your opinion, Jason?
Honestly, this is one of those that I've struggled to figure out and understand the market here. I will say, though, as an employee, as a resident of this community that's moved here from out of state, a number of our residents have as well. Transitioning from a house that has a basement to a house that does not.
As a Midwesterner, no question.
So it was unique. I don't use storage facilities. I haven't had to be in that position, but I could understand where a family moving from another part of the country that now has to realize that their garage is pretty much their storage space.
Right. So if they want to park their car in their garage, they're going to have to get a storage unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to me, that this is and this is a little bit off topic maybe, but for me, if I've got to find a place to store it outside of what I have, I give it away, man, because I'm not gonna have a storage unit. But in fairness to the people that are building storage facilities, they're obviously doing it because there's a demand. So the more people that want to use these storage facilities, the more they're going to build. I'm kind of thinking, me personally, and that 16, that's a lot. Let's build some restaurants, man.
Yeah.
How about we do have some cool things coming up here with a Fry's food store and some other things like that. But storage units. Anything else on storage units, Jason? Yeah.
No, it's. I think we've covered it pretty much.
We've covered it. We have a group of residents. I don't know how many it is, but not happy with those storage facilities. And so we'll certainly continue to do what we can to make sure that we develop in a way that's helpful for the community. But we also understand, Jason, that you've got some limitations on that. The legal department's got some limitations, but we'll do everything we can. So we appreciate the questions, the comments, the concerns being brought to us, and you can go online and send us your questions, and we'll try and answer those questions right here on the podcast. Again, appreciate Jason so much you being with us, and all of our listeners, thank you as well. Until next time. Submit your questions by visiting maranaaz.gov/realtalk, and we'll answer them right here. To receive notifications for new releases, remember to click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, please follow the town on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date on current news and events.